Welcome to the final character introduction for our brand new Castles and Crusades Planescape Campaign, Save Hell. My name is DM Steve, and we're the Dicks in the Dark. And if you like Castles and Crusades, Planescape, character introductions, brand new campaigns, smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss any episodes of our brand new campaign starting January 4th. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know how we're doing. But most of all, please enjoy Aeph's story. I present Chapter 3, Aeph's story. Aepheus Belamonti wakes up in the morning, excited for the long-awaited journey to the governor's headquarters. Your master, Archimeph has taught you much, but membership in the governors opens doors to greater libraries and a fellowship of learning that you are excited about. Also, Archimeph is an insufferable old coot who bosses you around like you're a common house servant. However, the moment you open your eyes this morning, you notice an unsettling silence in the tower. The dawn breaks reluctantly, casting a pale, sickly light through the windows of the old wizard's tower. The air is bitterly cold, with each breath whistling in the frigid stillness. A deep, unsettling silence pervades the tower, broken only by the creaking of ancient wood and the whisper of draft slipping through the cracks in the stone. Your breath hangs in the air as you rise from your bed, the chill immediately biting through your clothes. You look around, feeling the weight of the day's significance. Today is the day, a day of new beginnings and long-awaited dreams. Yet, something feels off. Archimeph isn't yelling at you to wake up. That's unusual. The hearths are not crackling, and something is most definitely not right. As you step down onto the cold stone, the frigidness seeps into your bones. The floor, usually warm from the ever-burning hearths, are icy underfoot. And there's a weird smell. The faint scent of sulfur and alchemical brews lingers, mingling with the normal odor of musty old books and parchment.
Oh,
It's the morning of your day.
that it
Where's
is.
that old wizard?
I shall creep onto the chilling floor and uh make my way to investigate.
So, you step out onto your floor. You look over. Your pack is all packed up. All your stuff is all like ready to go. You're ready for the day, but the wizard's not around. Your quarters are cramped, um, but you don't hear anything from the rest of the house, the rest of the tower. It's very weird.
I'll call out, Lord Archimectogarathes. Master, are you there? Do you wake?
You're met with silence. Yelling out into
Strange.
the hall, your voice is echoey, but nothing comes back other than yourself.
Then I shall follow the strange scent.
Hmm. You, your bedroom is all the way up here. His bedroom is just kind of lower here. And then down here, there are some other things, such as the lab. You think that it's possible that that smell might be coming from either the lab, which is over here, or the library, which is down here. But you might want to check his room as well on your way down.
Sure. I will knock at his bed quarters. Uh, Master? Any
There's no
response?
response. You know he doesn't like you to go into his room. Do
Of
you
course.
dare open the door?
No, no. I'll save that for a last retreat. I will make my way down and investigate the lab next.
Hmm, okay. You go down, making your way into the alchemical lab. When you get there, you see that there are broken vials. There are scorch marks all around the room, and things are generally a clutter and very overturned. Now, Arkham, Arkham, you know the deal. He he has you keep things clean. He is very organized, and this is not the way. He's a governor, right? Like super lawful, everything in its right place. This is wrong. He would never leave the lab like this.
It's quite strange. I wonder if he found himself in a nightly frenzy of brilliance. I guess onward to where did you say the next room was? Or the
So
next room
so, so yeah,
is?
you're up here in the tower. He's kind
Sure.
of this big room here. The lab's over here, and then like this bottom, well, kind of this second floor here is the library. The library is like pretty
Ah, the
big.
library, that's what it
Yeah.
was. I shall quicken my haste toward the library to see if he's caught up within a reading.
So you run down to the library, and once again, you find that your master is absent. But similarly to the library is in horrible disarray. You see that there are books scattered all over the floor, and you see that his journal, which again you are not really supposed to look in, but you know what it is lying open on the floor on a pile of books.
I'm usually uh, quite hesitant about disobeying the order of my superiors, but I think in the atmosphere, uh, this calls to break that case. So I will investigate his journal.
You take a look at Archimeth de Gareth's journal. It's open to what seems to be the most recent entry. There's nothing beyond it in the pages and before. The entries before look normal in your master's very, very practiced, very steady hand. Again, he's a governor. Everything is meticulous, except for this last entry. This last entry is crazy. Do you read it?
Of course.
When you read it, you can't help but in your mind's eye, in your mind's ear, to hear it in Archimeth the Gareth's voice. And because of the way that it's written, you hear it in a frantic way. The hour's upon us. Oh, the eye of the gods. The gods' eye, it whispers to me. Truths unimaginable, realms unfathomable. But I am a conduit, a mere vessel for the untamed power it bestows upon the worthy or the foolish. The Infernus Key, that wretched beautiful artifact, it calls out from the abyss, and I alone am its master, its cursed bearer. They called me mad. They did not understand the majesty, the sheer majesty of the infernal designs etched upon its surface. The depths where secrets lie dormant. The ancient forces conspire and coil in anticipation. Do they not see? Do they not hear the symphony of chaos and creation singing from the hidden depths? I have unlocked the secrets. Oh, yes, I have. The Infernus Key pulses with the heartbeat of 1,000 devils, hidden safe, locked beneath my feet. And the god's eye, it sees all. Through this orb, I have glimpsed the fabrics of reality tearing asunder, revealing the hellish tapestries beyond. Sigil! Oh, the city of doors! City of blind fools! They know nothing of the power I hold. The governor's blind fools! All of them my apprentice. The angelic. My student perhaps will understand. Maybe he will see what I have seen. But the night grows darker, and the whispers louder. I must go to the cold below. I must follow the call of the unbearable, beautiful call. I must embrace the abyss to dance with the devil at the heart of creation. Below the key, it all belongs and begins there.
The Infernus Key. Am I familiar with this artifact?
You're not familiar with the Infernus Key. That's something that your master has never, in fact, mentioned to you. However, he did mention something else that you are somewhat familiar with. And here I'm going to go ahead and put the whole text in there
Mm.
in case you need to take a look at it quickly.
Yes, yes.
And what you're familiar with is several weeks ago, on a visit to the gate town of Ribcage. You see, your tower, I think I told you this before, but not in the game. Your tower, his tower, is on the Outlands, about 60 miles from the city of Sigil. So you live on the Outlands, which is why everything kind of looks like, yeah. You were a few weeks ago with your master in the gate town of Ribcage. He obtained a small crystal orb that he called the God's Eye. He didn't elaborate, and he bought it from the shadiest character in some back alley in the gate town to Beitor. But you haven't seen it since. Now, the Infernus key, you have no idea what that is. It's the first you've heard of it.
Hmm.
And you're surprised by how chaotic the writing is. This is not like your master at all.
Master, on our day of our great journey into Sigil, where have you gone? I fear that I must go back up to my room, collect my pack, and set off to try to track him down.
You're you go back through the house and you realize that you haven't actually checked his bedroom. He is quite old.
I don't think he's in there, but I will creak open the door and peer inside.
You peer inside and you notice a couple of things right off the bat. The first thing you notice is that all of his belongings for the journey are neatly at the end of his bed, and his travel clothes and all of his things are set out neatly as he normally would. So it appears that he didn't take anything with him. The most telling is the fact that his spell book, his travel spell book, is locked and on the bed. He never, ever goes anywhere
That is
without
highly
his travel spell book. So it
that's
just
highly
doesn't
concerning.
make any sense. The other thing is the smell of sulfur in here is incredibly, incredibly strong. But there's something else weird. Your master, Archimephthalgerothes, fancies himself a bit of a painter, but he kind of sucks. Like, he's not very good. But there is a painting on his easel that looks fresh, that looks pretty insane. You walk over and take a close look.
Yes.
It's on a very large canvas. You get over to it, and this is what you see.
God's eye. Lord Archimephthalgerothes. He must be under a spell, enchanted with this Infernus key, with a higher power. I need to find him. I look around. Does it seem like perhaps there was a rift? Uh, this pungent smell of sulfur, perhaps, uh, could be lent to?
It's possible. You're smelling around. Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Damn, what a bonus.
You're going around, you're trying to figure out, anything. The room, it just looks normal. The smell of sulfur is in here, but you keep being drawn back to the painting. There's something weird about it. It almost looks 3D, like the eye is like kind of almost popping out of the painting. Pretty weird.
Before I do anything else, I look back at his belongings on the bed. I grab his traveler's spellbook and stow it in my pack.
Okay. You grab the spell book. You know better to open the lock. It's charmed, cursed. You know that if anybody but your master opens this lock, it's bad news.
But it is also far too dangerous and powerful to be kept here alone.
Correct.
Afterwards, I walk over to the painting and then I reach out, caress towards the image.
You touch it. The oil, the paint is still a little bit wet. But now you realize what you were seeing. There's like it's not the eye itself. There's a bulge in the canvas. So the canvas is bulged out a little bit in the center.
I shall reach towards his artist palette, grab a painter's knife, and pluck into the eye.
Okay. No. So you take the painter's knife and you cut into the canvas, into the eye, and you realize that in behind the eye, in the canvas itself, there's something. There's like something in there.
I grab it.
So you grab it, and it looks like a key, and it is wrapped in some sort of a parchment, and it's tied with like a little string. It was just kind of bulging out because of the paper of the parchment.
Is it magical?
You don't think so?
Hmm.
You'll have to untie the string to kind of take a look at the contents, but you can just tell that it's like a key wrapped with a little parchment.
Then I'll untie it.
You untie it. The key looks like the keys in this that go to this tower. However, the keys are kind of like big skeleton keys, and they each have like a little design, and you kind of can just tell by looking at the end of the key what door it goes to. You've been here for 4 years, you've gotten used to it. This is definitely part of the set, but it's got a different thing at the end. It's got a different shape. So it's for a door that you're not familiar with. And the little piece of paper, actually see, it looks like a little scrawled diagram, almost like a map, a sketched map of this tower. But there's something unusual. You see, there's obviously your bedroom, his bedroom, you know, lab, library. This area down here is kind of just like it's like a foyer kitchen area. It's a kind of like a living downstairs area. Beneath this rock, there is nothing, or at least you thought. But on the little sketch, it almost looks like there's a little room or a little box underneath the kitchen.
Archimefto Garrett's, what secrets are you hiding from me? And I'll take it and I will follow down to the secret entrance around by the kitchen.
You make your way down to the kitchen and you look around. You don't think there's a secret entrance here. You suppose you're going to have to do some searching. Go ahead and do some searching.
What is that?
If there's not a specific search thing, then it's probably, I'm gonna say, an intelligence check, which I think is likely what it is. What it is, it is.
Is.
You search around in the kitchen with new eyes. The eyes of an adventurer. Normally you just make eggs and soup in here. But after searching pretty thoroughly, and you almost missed it, you found a trap door. It was underneath a storage box, a pantry, that's been in this kitchen for years, longer than you have been here. You actually had to move it, but you realized that there were like scuff marks on the floor that you never really noticed that look like somebody has been moving this. When you pull it out, there's a trap door in the floor. You didn't know this was here.
Well, I'll be. I wonder if our little friend here will help with this. I'll go and investigate the lock to the trapdoor. If
It
there is
does
one.
appear that there is a little plate underneath. When you pull the trap door up, there's a second door. So the trap door is like, it's weird because it looks like a piece of stone. So you kind of have to like, you pull it up because it looks like the floor.
Sure.
Underneath that is a like wood and metal door with a lock in it. And it appears that the shape of the lock matches the skeleton key that you found. You
Click.
turn it and you hear a click.
Creepily open the door.
You pull the door open and you look down inside. It's it's weird because there shouldn't be any light down there. It should be dark. But there is. There is a faint reddish glow. Also, it's cold. And it should be cold down there. But there's like heat radiating from below. You can't quite see what is radiating the heat or the light, but you just know that it's weird. There aren't steps. There's kind of like a janky rope ladder.
I will don my mantle, make sure all of my supplies are ready, and, well, head out below.
You go down below. You start to climb down, and you realize that there is a little chamber down here, a basement, more like a root cellar, basically. You never even knew about it. It's not even that big. It's kind of deep, but it's not even that big, maybe like 10 by 10 foot. In the center of it, just lying on the floor, is this weird looking object. It's the source of the glow and the source of the heat.
I hesitantly reach out, get my hand very close. Does it feel like if I were to grab it, it would burn me?
Yes.
I retract.
It kind of looks like a largish key, but it looks like it's made of bone and desiccated flesh. The bone has been carved into an ornate key, and like the key looks. I mean, it's like a key shaped, but it's like almost the size of like a femur, basically. It almost looks like somebody carved a human femur into a key,
My
and there's
God.
still like desiccated flesh around it, and it's just like it's almost pulsating in this glow.
I wonder if this is what his journal was referring to. I look around. Is there anything else? Is there like another door or?
No, nothing else in here.
Okay, let me look at something real quick.
Hi, my name is Cameron, and I play Aepheus Belamonti in our Planescape campaign, Save Hell. You're watching Dicks in the Dark.
Go ahead and an intelligence check.
Okay. Intelligence check. Let's try that one again.
Ah, well.
Ignore this one. This is just to. Why is that macro not working? Okay.
Oh,
Anyway.
it's a bum macro. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to figure out time because I'm actually not sure off the top of my head. And the Castles and Crusades book. Somebody see if you can look up time for Castles and Crusades while we're
Yeah, I'll pull
doing
it up.
this. Cool. Thank you. So Aepheus is kind of getting ready to maybe cast a cantrip to see if he can possibly handle this thing safely. And as he's considering it, he thinks better of it. This thing is the feeling of this thing that he's getting is that if he touches it, it's it, even through a spell like that, it might be dangerous. He's actually uh, almost maybe even a little bit willing to get too close to it. But as he was considering how dangerous this object is, he also thought of something else, and that is that orb is still missing.
I'm sorry. The orb.
Well, you found the painting of the god's eye,
Uh,
but you didn't actually find the god's eye.
and that is what he acquired in the gate town of Ribcage. That's the
Correct. Yeah. You were with him when he acquired this, and he only mentioned it very briefly. Told you not to ask about it, but he obviously mentions it in his raving journal entry.
right.
A combat round is 10 seconds.
So a combat round is 10 seconds. What about a turn?
Turn.
That makes sense that a combat round is 10 seconds. I think a turn is a minute, if
Is it a
I'm
minute?
not mistaken. I think so. I don't think it's 10 minutes like in Beck Me. I think it's just a minute,
Okay.
which would be good
Well,
to know for spells and stuff. But yeah, see if you can double check that, Garrett.
I'm quite hesitant to get closer to this. I suspect it is what enchanted my master. I would like to double back and investigate the rest of the tower first before I commit to something like this.
Okay. Where will you look? You've already kind of turned apart his bedroom. You searched his bedroom pretty thoroughly,
Hmm.
but you really didn't look. You really didn't look that too hard in the lab or the library. You just kind of went in, gave him a cursory glance. In the library, you looked at his journal, but then made it downstairs pretty quickly.
Okay. I guess reemerging from the kitchen, I will quickly glance around and perhaps look in the foyer where uh, the external door is. Does it look like he left through this method, or no?
Nah, the door is locked and it's locked from the inside, so it
Okay.
doesn't appear that he left. And the foyer, um, much like the kitchen, is pretty normal. It's clean. It's organized as it would normally be. So nothing crazy.
Then back up towards, I suppose the library would be most logical to check.
Okay.
Okay. It
Uh,
is 1 minute.
that's what I thought. Okay, so we got it. Cool. All right. So you head back up to the library. Go ahead and make an intelligence check to search around the library. You search through, and of course, obviously his journal is there. Uh, Again, everything is disorganized, in disarray. You take and you uncover, and you don't really find anything of note in the library, other than the fact that there's just books all over the place. The books are somewhat of interesting note, though. Almost all of the books have to do with the outer planes, and specifically the plane of Betor, or the Nine Hells. It
Okay.
seems that your master has had some sort of interest in that lately, but has been keeping it from you.
Okay. It's good of note. Then on to the library.
You mean the lab?
Or yes, sorry.
You make your way back up to the lab, and of course the broken vials and everything. You notice that in the lab is where you smell the strongest, like, sulfur smell. It's like really lingering here in the lab. Things are turned over. Things are just all a mess. Go ahead and make an intelligence check to test the lab. Check the lab.
Check.
So you
Hmm.
check around the lab. You notice things are pretty out of place. You're looking around, trying to figure out anything, anywhere that your master could be. Where in the hell is Archimeth
Oh, Garrett.
Tilgarathes? Where is he? You're pretty frustrated, and you're almost getting ready to leave as you trip over some like an apparatus that's on the floor. And when you trip over it, you realize it reveals something rolls out from under it into the center of the floor. And you see in the center of the floor a crystal ball.
I'll kneel down to inspect it. Is this it?
You only saw it briefly, but you believe so.
Does it feel dangerous to reach for? And
You're not getting the same sense from this. Not not quite.
hmm. I shall cast my mage hand, pick it up, and put it within my pouch.
Okay. When you cast your mage hand and you reach out for with this this kind of ethereal hand, you pick up the God's Eye. When you pick it up, even though it's not with your actual hand, for just a moment, you can see the eye within the sphere. It looks almost similar to what your master painted. And for a brief moment within the eye, you see that thing that you found in the basement, the key. And then it just disappears and it's a normal crystal ball again.
Strange. Well, back to the key then. I make my way down to the kitchen, climb through the trapdoor and the ladder.
You climb down into the basement. And as you climb down, you can already feel something weird. The God's Eye is vibrating. It seems to be vibrating in your pouch. It catches you off guard, and you actually slip on the crappy rope thing and fall down into the basement, right next to the thing. Go ahead and roll a dexterity check to see if you're able to like catch yourself or if you just, fell right onto the floor.
Oh, it's onto the floor.
Nah, you totally wipe out, getting very close to this thing. In fact, your face gets within like 2 feet of it. You could feel the hot heat of it.
Ugh.
All of a sudden, you feel it start to pull you. The skin of your face stretches off in a way that it's not supposed to. Wait, it's not your skin, it's your whole being. Your whole life force is starting to stretch towards the key. And before you know it, you and everything that you are holding is sucked into the key as if it was a dense black hole pulling everything into it. The hot heat is almost unbearable as you fall into the black hole. And that is the end of Session 1 of Save Hell, the introductions of your characters.
Oh, hello there. My name is Cameron, and I play Aepheus Belamonti in our Planescape campaign, Save Hell, with the first official episode starting next week. So what did you think? Did you like our character introductions? If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share the video. You won't want to miss the start of Save Hell, starting January 4th. I'll see you there.
Hello, this is Dungeon Dan from Dicks in the Dark. Hello. Crusade. Alright, let's try that.